Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Friday. Today is the 17th day of January. It's National Bootleggers Day. You have some bootleggers in your family, don't you?
I do.
So how are you related to the bootleggers? Was your grandpa's...
Yeah, my grandpa's family.
Family, like his brothers and
his
sisters? Or...
aunts and uncles and, yeah.
So, and it's also, and that explains everything we need to know about Heidi, by the way. Is it too early for this? Yeah, it's a bit too early. It's also National Hot Buttered Rum Day. So Heidi's going to have a heck of a day today. And I've got a guest who's going to join us on the program here. His name is Jordan Goodman. He is America's Money Answers man. We try to catch up with him like once a month if possible. And he always has like some really good financial advice for us. So I'm not exactly sure what we're going to talk about today, but I'm excited to learn all about it. It's coming up in a bit. It is the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. Thanks for listening.
Student loan debt is out of control for many people. Are you one of them? The average graduate walks away with anywhere from $25,000 to $40,000 in student loans. Believe it or not, 2% even manage to owe over $100,000 by the time they graduate. If you have several different student loans, let us consolidate them into one loan and one payment at singlestudentloan.com. If you have only one student loan, we may be able to offer you a better rate to help you get that loan paid off sooner at singlestudentloan.com. That's singlestudentloan.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A Danish study found that being exposed to smog during your childhood can lead to schizophrenia later in life. So if you've ever thought, there seem to be a lot more schizophrenic people in big cities, well, that's why. It's the smog. Well, it maybe has part to do with it anyway. That's a Danish study, and I do have a link to that in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
When was the last time you got a new credit card? If you have a card that's been in your purse or wallet for a long time, you should check and see if you're getting the best rates. You may find a better credit card that will give you the points you want or cashback options you don't get right now. At BetterCreditCards.com, you see all the major credit card companies and their best offers. Let them compete to earn your business. And if the one you have right now is better, keep it. Find a card that's a better fit for you at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. Every day we share stories about people doing silly things, but addiction is no laughing matter. So I want to make sure we say that ahead of time. We haven't said that in a while.
No.
We used to say that all the time, and then we kind of quit saying that. But I just want to make sure people understand that we're laughing at the silliness, not the addiction. An Alabama man was found to be in possession of meth and heroin during his arrest. And when they were going through the motions of doing the statements and all of that stuff, they said, in an unusual turn, he requested a photo with the deputies.
Oh.
They're getting mugshots taken and everything. And I said, okay. He was found to have been carrying an amount of heroin and meth. Deputies later discovered a stolen motorcycle at his residence. Also, a bunch of other stuff that he did wrong. Had a bunch of pictures of stolen things on his Facebook page, whatever. Anyway, he wanted a photo with the three deputies, so there's a photo of this guy, all smiles, alongside three deputies who were charging him with 4 felonies. Probation, revocation warrants, possession of a controlled substance, a lot of stuff. I thought that was kind of an interesting thing. There's a photo and the story. It's all on TimeForRehab.com. Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. 1917 was tops at the box office last weekend. As we approach this weekend, looking pretty good for this weekend as well. Last weekend made $36 million. The film tells the story of a British soldier who runs across enemy lines in a quest to save his brother, based on a true story.
Right. I'm really happy for them.
Me too. I think that's
film,
and
so
it's
awesome.
like I don't know that it's 100% independent, but it's. There's a lot of interesting things where it's very unusual that it would be doing as well as it is.
Right.
No big stars that are like lead roles, and it's just, I don't know, it's really kind of cool. Star Wars came in second place at $15 million, which sounds like a lot of money to me, but I guess in movie world that's nothing. And attendance fell by 56% the second week of January for them. And then Cats continues to struggle. They took in less than $1 million, $500,000.
I don't know who thought that was a good idea anyway.
Here's a really good idea. Charge them to get out of the theater. You guys would double, triple, quadruple. I've got a link to these stories. It's in the show notes for today. And Big Screen, Little Screen brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
It's a new year. Have you made a resolution to quit drinking or to finally get away from drugs for good? These are both habits that are hard to kick, but you can do it. We want to help you. TimeForRehab.com is here to help you find the help you need with your particular situation. If you want to make this year the year you get the help you need to live a normal life again, start with a little help from us at TimeForRehab.com. That's TimeForRehab.com.
Now, your scoop of the day for this Friday, brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. Tesla is in the news. So there's two stories back to back. The first one I got earlier in the week, and I didn't get to it. And then by the time I read it, it's almost kind of outdated. Okay. I'll read the first one, though. It says, Tesla CEO Elon Musk says his cars will soon be able to talk. Story one. Okay. Story two, Elon Musk revealed a video of a talking Tesla. Well... So does that kind of...
Why would you want a talking car?
Well, here's what the car says. It tells a pedestrian, don't just stand there and stare. Hop in. Isn't that like borderline kidnapping?
It tells a pedestrian to hop in your car?
So Tesla's new car, at least the one in the video, says, don't just stand there staring. Hop in. So I don't know that that's what it's going to say to everybody.
I was going to say you would not want your car saying that to people.
Probably so. They're going to start selling white vans this year as well. I just thought that was really weird. Now, when I was a kid... It
must have just been like a car show when they're saying that.
When I was a kid, there was a talking car by the name of Kit from the movie TV show Knight Rider. Remember that? And then I remember getting a car. It was a Chrysler LeBaron. And when I would open the door, instead of the bing, bing, bing...
It would say, your door is ajar.
Yeah. Do you remember that?
I remember those.
Those were so annoying. Your door... no, it would say, a door is ajar. A door is ajar. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I know that I'm getting in. Shut up, car. So it just, it got annoying really quick. So I don't know if this whole talking car thing is going to catch on. But if you want to know, I've got a link to the story. You can read all about it. A Navy spokesperson says releasing the government's top secret UFO files would pose exceptionally grave damage to the national security of the United States.
Really? That's interesting.
So just the fact that they said that is enough to make a lot of people
I never cared before, but now I kind of want to know.
So there are people out there going, what do you know and why can't you tell us?
Exactly.
And they're saying, trust me, you don't want to know. You wouldn't be able to sleep at night. Well, just telling me that is making it hard for me to sleep at night.
Wow, that's a little unnerving.
I've known that since Tuesday, and I haven't had a wink of sleep since. I do think it's really concerning, but I also understand that. If there's stuff they know, they're like, well, we're not going to tell people. Well, why would we tell them? It's not going to help you. It's going to just make people freak out. So even telling that story is enough for me to maybe hope I didn't freak somebody out. I've got a link to the story if you want to know more. It's on our show notes. Dunkin' Donuts have partnered with Snoop Dogg to create a Beyond the Sausage breakfast sandwich that is served on a donut. So if you're wondering what they were smoking when they created that, I can give you one hint.
Yuck. I would not.
Not your thing?
No.
And one last story here. A new poll found that Amazon and Google are the most trusted brands in the country. Hollywood, by the way, has the lowest trustworthiness rating at just 4%.
So.
But Amazon and Google, they're the two companies that are listening to us right now all the time and all of the devices all around our house. And those are the ones that we trust the most.
You wouldn't let them listen if you didn't trust them.
Apparently we trust them enough. This has been your scoop of the day.
Student loan debt is out of control for many people. Are you one of them? The average graduate walks away with anywhere from $25,000 to $40,000 in student loans. Believe it or not, 2% even manage to owe over $100,000 by the time they graduate. If you have several different student loans, let us consolidate them into one loan and one payment at singlestudentloan.com. If you have only one student loan, we may be able to offer you a better rate to help you get that loan paid off sooner at singlestudentloan.com. That's singlestudentloan.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Super excited to visit with America's Money Answers man. Jordan Goodman is on the line right now. Jordan, how are you, sir?
Happy New Decade, John.
Yeah, it is. It's a whole new year, a whole new decade, but there are some things that we're going to experience in 2020 that we've experienced the last few years. We were talking ahead of time here about jobs. So if there are people listening that are maybe looking for a different job, a better job, all of that ties to finances because that's what we do to make money is these jobs. And you've got some resources and some information on how to maybe get a better job. Is that right?
I do. The situation right now in the country, John, is there are literally more jobs available, unfilled jobs, than there are people looking for them. It's an amazing situation. There's over 7 million unfilled jobs in this country and about 6 million people looking for jobs. The reason, to some extent, is a lot of the jobs that are available were done for many years by baby boomers who are now 65 and 70 and retiring. And younger people, millennials, either don't have the skills or not interested in the kind of jobs that were done by the baby boomers in many cases. So there's an enormous gap and growing all the time. So in a certain way, if you're looking for a job, that's the best news you could have. There's gazillions of unfilled jobs. What you have to do, though, is to have the skills to meet the requirements of employers for those jobs, and they'd be glad to hire you if you had the skills. Now, I've actually put together a series of resources that can help you get the skills you need for those jobs at my website, moneyanswers.com. I have in the section called Education and Learning several online resources that can literally give you any skill you need. I mean, literally anything in any area. Let me just go through some of them if that would be helpful.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's one called Pluralsight, and that gives you technology skills. Any technology you can imagine, IT or data security or any of those things, you can learn online at Pluralsight. The next one I've got is called 360training.com. They have over 6,000 courses for career development in every area you could possibly imagine. Real estate, anything you need some kind of a certification for. I've got one called Udacity, which is an online university that has all the latest tech and business skills in every area. They offer what are called nano degrees in cutting-edge technologies and business, very targeted at specific areas that you might want to get a job in. And the fourth one I've got is called Whiz Labs, where it's technical skills in online, and you get certified. Over 3 million professionals have already gotten training and certification in all kinds of disciplines through Whiz Labs. So those are 4 places that literally wherever you are, you can go online, learn these things, and now you become certified to take the jobs that are available. How about that?
That is fantastic. And I'm sure there is at least one person that maybe set a resolution for 2020 to find maybe a better employment opportunity. And if the barrier for that employment opportunity is the training and the skills, well, there are some tools right there. Again, you said you've got a link at moneyanswers.com. When I get to the site, what am I looking for on there to find the info?
So you go to the Resource Center at moneyanswers.com, and then there are different subcategories. This subcategory is education and learning, and then under that you'll see all these different courses, and you'll see links to Pluralsight, 360 Training, Udacity, and Whiz Labs with full descriptions of them all. And you go on that, you will be amazed at the different areas you can learn about technically. And so what you do is find the job you want first, and then get the training for that job. So most people do jobs the opposite. They pursue what they're interested in, and then they can't find a job in that field. Here, you can get the job first, know it's available, then you get the training, and then you're off and running.
That is fantastic. Again, that website is moneyanswers.com. And it's a new year. Let's talk about some of the books that you have that people can utilize to increase their knowledge base when it comes to finances. Do you have a link to those on your website as well?
I do. I've got under the bookstore, most recent one's called Master Your Debt, helping people with their debts. And they went wild shopping for Christmas presents last month. So now they're going to be having some pretty big debts to pay off. I've got a book on student loans, all kinds of different things. So, yes, there's a bookstore at moneyanswers.com as well. And as usual, I'm always glad to get emails from your listeners, John. I get them all the time and glad to answer their financial questions.
If you've got a question you'd like to ask Jordan, you can submit that to him right through his website, moneyanswers.com. Again, Jordan, thank you for taking the time to chat, sir.
Thanks so much, John.
Again, Jordan Goodman, America's Money Answers man, and his website, once again, is moneyanswers.com.
Want to make your sweetheart smile next month for Valentine's Day? Find some fun, matching shirts at funkymonkeyshirts.com. We have a whole collection of fun shirts for you lovebirds.
My wife rocks.
My man rocks.
We also have many silly shirts that will make you smile any day of the year.
My ex-wife was a trophy wife.
Participation trophy.
Find something fun for a loved one, friend, or for yourself at funkymonkeyshirts.com. That's funkymonkeyshirts.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
If you ever wonder what outer space smells like, seared steak is the answer.
Really?
When you see footage of astronauts floating peacefully in space, do you ever wonder, what does that smell like? According to some former astronauts, space does have a very distinct odor that they say kind of smells like hot metal or like searing steak. So there you go, if you ever wondered.
I love the smell of searing steak.
So it's like we got a giant barbecue going in outer space.
Wow.
So there you go. Now you know. That is today's fun fact.
When was the last time you got a new credit card? If you have a card that's been in your purse or wallet for a long time, you should check and see if you're getting the best rates. You may find a better credit card that will give you the points you want or cashback options you don't get right now. At bettercreditcards.com, you see all the major credit card companies and their best offers. Let them compete to earn your business. And if the one you have right now is better, keep it. Find a card that's a better fit for you at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, news headlines from somewhere in this world. Dateline, Italy. You know they don't call it Italy there? They call it Italia. Like we call it Italy.
Okay.
I think we should call it what they call it. But Dateline, Italy. Police in Italy pulled up next to a vehicle fitting the description of a car that was reported stolen. When they look over, they see the driver can barely see over the wheel.
Oh, no.
A 9-year-old kid.
Oh, no.
With a 10-year-old and 12-year-old passenger.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it happened in Italy or
So
Italia.
dangerous.
It's a bad plan, kids. But that is news headlines from somewhere in this world.
It's a new year. Have you made a resolution to quit drinking or to finally get away from drugs for good? These are both habits that are hard to kick, but you can do it. We want to help you. TimeForRehab.com is here to help you find the help you need with your particular situation. If you want to make this year the year you get the help you need to live a normal life again, start with a little help from us at TimeForRehab.com. That's TimeForRehab.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. The royal family news that shocked the world this week apparently didn't shock everybody. At least one person knew this was going to happen. In England, a self-proclaimed fortune teller, Jemima Packington, claimed that she predicted that Harry and Meghan Markle would step back from the royals after reading some asparagus spears.
Oh.
I'm not making this up.
Did you tell anybody about it, or is she just saying that now? No, I knew that.
Take a listen to
when
this.
I looked at my asparagus.
It says here that she's 64 years old, and she reportedly is the world's only asparamancer, something like that.
Gosh.
Like a source. She can tell the future by throwing asparagus into the air and observing how it lands on the ground. She says, when I cast the asparagus, it creates a pattern. And if the pattern, I see the pattern and then I interpret it. I didn't say all of that right. Anyway, the vegetable reader says that she inherently has this ability from her aunt. She inherited this from her aunt who read tea leaves. But she didn't want to read tea leaves. She wanted to read asparagus. So she predicted the future since she was 8. She prophesied some other things, by the way, like Brexit, and she prophesied the Cricket World Cup and that Theresa May would be pushed out as prime minister. So
like, she did this ahead of time and actually told people about it?
I don't know.
Because I've never heard of her.
Well, now you have.
It's easy to say, oh, yeah, I totally knew that was going to happen. I saw that in my asparagus.
Hey, just believe her, Heidi. Just believe her. This is today's Weird News. Now your moment of duh, brought to you by SingleStudentLoan.com. An Iowa yoga instructor pummeled a fellow moviegoer because he was using his phone during the movie. Which movie, you might ask?
Which movie?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Well.
And he said, you're ruining the film! And the guy wouldn't get off the phone, so they arrested 34-year-old Nicholas Glasgow on assault and criminal mischief when he started socking the dude in the face.
Yeah, you can't do that.
No, Iowa City Multiplex is where this happened. He was released from the jail there. Had been booked on misdemeanor charges, according to criminal complaint. Oscar-nominated film starring Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, had not even begun yet when he contacted the theater staff and said, hey, can you talk to this guy and tell him to get off his phone? And anyway, he didn't get off the phone.
So if the movie hadn't even started yet, what was his deal?
So at the conclusion, because this guy was on the phone like throughout the whole thing, at the conclusion of the film, he approached the victim and his friends, demanded, hey, you need to apologize for ruining that movie. And the guy's like, no, I'm not going to do that. And he punched him in the face.
Okay.
This yoga instructor needs to calm down.
Maybe he should do yoga.
I knew you were going to say that. It's today's Moment of Duh on the John and Heidi Show.
When was the last time you got a new credit card? If you have a card that's been in your purse or wallet for a long time, you should check and see if you're getting the best rates. You may find a better credit card that will give you the points you want or cashback options you don't get right now. At bettercreditcards.com, you see all the major credit card companies and their best offers. Let them compete to earn your business. And if the one you have right now is better, keep it. Find a card that's a better fit for you at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, fake news or Florida? Heidi, tell me, is this a true story from the great state of Florida, or is it made up just to trick you and amuse me and hopefully others? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Fake news or Florida? A Fort Walton Beach woman told police she punched her neighbor's dog because Jesus told her to do it. Fake news or Florida?
I'm gonna say fake news.
It's fake news. You got it right. Good job. It is pretty believable, though, because, I'm pretty sure Jesus would be telling people to punch dogs in the face.
Yeah, that's not believable.
No, it's not in the book of Job somewhere? No, it's nowhere in there. Yeah, I don't think that would be a true story, but it certainly wouldn't mean that somebody wouldn't have thought that happened. But good job on calling the fake news for fake news or Florida.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news. I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. And we mentioned this the other day, but I'm going to read the story now that I've got more details here. I mentioned it just as a story, but now this is the good news for today. A proud papa. Galapagos tortoise sets for release after saving his species with over 800 offspring. We didn't know
we talked about this.
Yeah, we didn't know how many there were, though, because we were just saying 130-year-old Galapagos tortoise.
A randy little devil.
Yeah, he single-handedly saved his species by fathering 800 offspring, and now, since his job is done, they're setting him free. They're saying, okay, you know what, you can just go. He's 130. He's been around a while. 800 kids. His name is Diego. Believed to be taken from the Galapagos Islands, was recruited along with 14 other adults for a captive breeding program. He'll be returned to his native island now in March. And it says here, population went from 15 tortoises when they started. 15. They were down to 15. Now over 2,000 due to this program.
Nice.
So it's really cool. Park rangers believe that 40% of the current population of tortoises are descendants of Diego. So he is responsible for 40% of all the tortoises in the world.
Pretty impressive, dude.
He contributed a large percentage of the lineage that we are returning. They say there's a feeling of happiness to have the possibility of returning that tortoise to his natural state. If he's been in captivity for this long, do you think he wants to go back?
I don't know.
He's like, all I do around here is I just stay in bed and you bring me another tortoise. What am I supposed to... You bring me food. What am I supposed to do out
It's going to be a rude awakening for this little guy.
I kind of wonder if they should just leave him be. 130 years. I don't know. I've got a link to the story if you want to read it. It's actually kind of cool. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show.